Welcome back, everybody, to Final Fantasy XIV once again. We've just done the dungeon for 6.2 and ended up in the 13th, where the Voidsent live, so... This castle should serve as a base of operations for now. Here we set our sights elsewhere. Let's see what there is to learn here. Okay. So there's no Aetherites here, so I guess we're going to be staying here for a while. The wearing scale exhibits no change. It should be safe to remain here and begin our search. But whither we're now, I would sense Azadala, where she wrote near, but there's nothing. Might you not call her? Let her know that you've come. Alas, this vessel is not capable of calling across vast distances. For that I require my true form. And even if it were possible, a dragon's call is born upon ether. 'Tis liable to draw more Voidsent to us. I see. In any case, there's little exploration to be done while we're confined to this isolated isle. I propose to begin by learning what we can about the castle's occupants. An understanding of their ways may prove useful to our cause. Very well, let's hope a few of them are capable of speech. Let's all remain vigilant while we go upon our inquiries. We'll reconvene afterwards. So we're just gonna go talk to Voidsent, huh? I did get a ring from the dungeon, and it put me to eye level 584, which is just 1 point away from what we need for what's coming up next, so I'm gonna have to grind a little bit at some point. Grr. Grr? Grr. Creature snarls and glares at you. It's unlikely you'll learn anything from it. Fair enough. Instinian, you having any better luck? This one does not, but stare. Some seem willing enough to converse. Whether they have the ability to do so is another matter. Which enticing ether you have? Give me some. Give me some. Oh, if only I were stronger, I'd be able to eat you. Fine, fine, I'll find someone else to eat. Well, able to communicate, this one seems to only think of feeding. Better take your inquiries elsewhere. Like the prevailing tongue in Norvrant, the language of this world bears a resemblance to our own. It may be assumed that they share a common ancestor. Got the Dritter Voidsent here. The Mistress's eyes are beauteous, sublime, to bask in her gaze is bliss. And now she's gone, never again will I feel her gaze. No mistress, no orders, what am I to do now? What am I to do now? The creature mutters endlessly to itself, not sparing you much as a glance. I serve, I obey. Please don't eat me. Dragon? What's that? Does it taste good? I don't know anything about it. Don't know anything about anything. But the one we caught recently, they seem to know lots. We threw them in the dungeon, but clever ones are tasty. They might have been eaten already. You've learned all you can from the Voidsent. If you look in the dungeon, you might be able to find the clever one that mentioned. Guessing we're heading this way. I have nothing to share. While those I approached had no will to fight, neither were they capable of holding a conversation worth the name. My experience was much the same. Lower rung Voidsent tend to have a lower intelligence, it would seem. A pity Scalamilon is dead. He was talkative at least. What of you? A clever void scent in the dungeon. That would be the area in which we emerged. Indeed. Let's take ourselves back there and find this void scent, probably before its fellows make a meal of it. To the dungeon, then. This is a really nice, obviously it was the dungeon theme as well, but this is a pretty nice little, like, theme in general for this area. I can't survive without someone to give me either, but where, oh where will I find a new master? So I guess we upset the balance of order here at this place. We got a doorkeeper? Pray we caught her weakened in the dungeon before being served up to the mistress. Tenderizing, she called it, and that's the way she used to like it. We're not getting any answers out of that one. Alright, let's see who's down here, I guess. Oh, looks like we have more to go, actually. Oh, so they're making us go through the entire area backwards from where we came, huh? Though there's only the one dungeon here, we call it the fourth, the Mistress's Orders. But the Mistress is gone, and her orders with her. Rats can infest this castle for all I care. No one comes and goes from this dungeon without permission. For you, though, I'll make an exception. Go on, go. Yeah, looks like we finally made it. Food for the Mistress' consumption is kept in these cells. With Mistress devoured, we're free to help ourselves. But the clever one is strong. Another warden went in there to devour the clever one, but he hasn't come back out.
You are the friend.
You're the void scent found the Xenos.
I see it now. The bottomless darkness. The insatiable hunger. The aura was present when we faced him in Garlemald.
How did it come to be here?
When Xenos died, its connection to the Source was severed. It was forced to return to the Void.
Xenos. Yes, that was his name. And you are the friend, are you not?
Is that Hydaelyn's crystal?
But how? The light just now. Of course. And thus I am returned.
What do you mean, returned? Who are you?
I was once bound to the man named Xenos. His avatar, until you killed him.
Avatar, as in the Void-sent servants of Reapers. In the name of his hunt, Xenos took up that traditional Garlean art. And through it, he forged a covenant with a being of the Void to lend him strength.
Covenant? A curse, more like. He stole my power. There was no equity in the arrangement. My very essence was altered, twisted into a tool to serve his desires.
Your previous appearance. This is your true form, then.
Perhaps, perhaps not. What does it matter?
Indeed, it doesn't. Regardless of your form, you are a Void sent by nature. So answer me this. Are you our enemy too?
In this world, only a fool would attempt to devour a stronger being. And though it was as an avatar, I lost to you once, I have no desire to lose again.
Good enough for me.
Now, you will answer me a question. Xenos called you friend. That's what you are? A friend?
Strictly speaking, I'm Narin Scorched Dust. Let's just kind of, not even go into that question.
So, you're not a friend. Then... what is it? What is a friend?
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing to walk away from. As much as I wouldn't expect the unexpected, I doubt any of us could have foreseen this turn of events. She seems different from the other Voidsent, at least those we've met, and the change we witnessed, I suspect, is due to your crystal purging the excess darkness in her. Even so, she still harbors a great deal of darkness. I'm very keen to hear what she can tell us about herself and about her world. So I doubt you came to the dungeon by pure chance. What is that you were after? We were looking for a Voidsent with whom we can converse, in the course of which we learned of you. We are visitors to this world and know little and less of its workings and ways. We'd be grateful if you could tell us about it, about yourself. So it's information you seek. What do you offer for it? I beg your pardon. Voidsent do not give unless we stand the gain. If you desire something, you pay the price. That is the sole rule in this world you call the Void. That makes sense, pray forgive our ignorance. But what would be acceptable as payment? I suspect that such coin we carry has no value here. Voidsent crave one thing alone, either. In return for information, I offer you mine, just not all of it, mind you. I still have need of my life. Very well, I'll tell you no more than you can afford to pay. Then we have a bargain. If we talk about the Void, let us go outside. Come with me. Now we get to go all the way back, huh? Okay, we didn't actually have to go all the way back. Well, that's a nice view, actually.
This is where I belong. My home. This endless darkness you call the Void. There was once light here, and it shone its warmth upon creation. The lands were green and the seas were blue. Life flourished. Before the war, the Contra Memoria.
It must have been a terrible war indeed.
It shattered the balance, causing darkness to engulf the world. All life was transformed into monstrosities, Voidsent. We are the natural order now.
As light begat Sin Eaters, darkness begat Voidsent.
The sun was driven from the sky as fleeting day yielded to endless night. In time, even land and sea lost their distinction. And though the spark of reason had died in us, driven by memory's shadow, we formed factions and carved out domains. This castle, for instance, its erstwhile lord must have abided in such a place once upon a time.
If I may, the darkness in you is too much for any man to harbor. To my eyes, you are indeed a Voidsent. Yet your knowledge of the past and your demeanor mark you apart from your brethren. You are different. That much is plain. But in what way, I am unsure.
As you say, I am Voidsent, but only in part. The darkness touched my mother when the war had only just begun, when I was still in the womb. As a child, I looked like any other, but darkness coursed through me, and I ceased to age when I'd become a woman grown. But that was then. And now, I may as well be one in full. I prey on the weak and serve the strong. I live to survive. Nothing more.
Forgive me. 'Twas not my intent to pry. I realize, too, that I've neglected to ask your name.
As we say mortal, you may call me Voidsent.
That is liable to cause confusion. If you are not averse, we would address you by your true name.
And call me what you will. I care not.
How about Zero?
Meaning nothing. A name as fitting as any.
No, not nothing, but rather a beginning. For it remains to be seen what you will become to us.
As I said, I care not. Zero, then.
I think it's a nice name.
A name is a string of sounds. Its meaning has no bearing on my nature.
Well, Zero, while there is no end to the questions we could ask, it is only fair that we tell you our purpose in coming here. We are searching for a dragon. One who came to your world long ago.
A dragon?
Yes. Ashdaya is her name, and she is my sister. If you have any knowledge of her, I beg you share it with us. Did you say something?
No.
I thought I heard a voice as well. The keening of Voidsent, perhaps.
I must say, we are rather exposed here. Perhaps we should continue the conversation within the castle. The throne room is defensible given its few points of ingress. Let us head back there. Moving was a part of the bargain. I'll comply, but I expect my payment properly. You shall have it as soon as we've arrived. I'm kind of curious if the dialogue changed if we had already started the Reaper class. I'm wondering. It's a big old like portal? I'm not sure what that is. Doesn't seem like the dialogue's changed with the minions around, so... Oh, we got a solo duty here. Upon proceed... Okay. Alright.
This place is as good as any. Let me have the ether now.
Very well.
my mark.
That fiend again? But we struck it down. Watched it die.
Fools. Death doesn't exist in this world. And I am free to return whensoever I please.
Death doesn't exist. Of course, in the first, the power of light, of passivity, prevents life from emerging in the empty. But in the 13th, the power of darkness, of activity, prevents life from finding rest, even should soul be separated from flesh.
So unless one's essence is absorbed by another, it is possible to return again and again.
Your ether. It is reminiscent of that creature's. Ah, my mouth waters at the memory.
What?
I must devour you too. Yes, I must. Drifting souls, by my power be reborn!
It's another death they want. I say we give it to them.
If you could lend us a hand, we'd be much obliged.
That you would. But you already owe me a debt, and until you make good on it, I won't lift a finger. We'll speak after you've won. But know that if you lose, I'll help myself to your ether.
That a bothersome duty should deliver to me this lavish feast. Come, struggle with all your might. It will make you that much richer and tastier.
Alright, let's go ahead and, so I'm assuming something's gonna have to happen here.
His soul remains served. Come, feast upon their flesh.
Your heart will answer your call. We do well to break up this feast quickly.
Then let's see these guests on their way.
Alrighty.
The power of the Archfiend of Earth!
He hastens their regeneration.
You cannot
bodes ill.
Our foe has reclaimed an advantage. We need to drag him out of this damnable pit. Stand together!
There's no end in sight. A retreat may be in order.
Well, it's finally stopping. Alright.
When will you learn? No matter what you do, you cannot hope to win.
You never know until you try, and I'm always happy to experiment.
Zero! Is there no way to stop them from coming back?
There is, but I have no reason to share it with you.
You know, Zero, you do owe us for one thing. Your name. You'll have your promised ether, but we are owed compensation for your name.
A name for which I did not ask. But that I nevertheless did accept.
They've been crystallized.
Well now, that's quite the trick.
Satisfied?
Completely.
Come, my friends. With Zero's aid, we can defeat him.
What is this? What have you done?
Now that I think on it, you owe me a debt as well. You may have missed your mark, but I won't miss mine.
Alright.
However incurred, a debt is a debt. I will repay it here and now.
She can turn void scent into crystal.
What is this house? Tremble before my
Oh shoot. I just messed up there a bit.
However, a debt is a debt. I will repay it here and now.
She can turn Voidsent into Hitler. Well, this is good.
Tremble before my truth strength.
Attend to the minions first. Pick up!
Not like get hit by that again, so. Oh, that got close. Okay.
Another debt to be paid.
Kill you all myself.
Finally getting serious, are we? Very well. Let us return the favor.
We're almost there.
This static! We must
almost there.
Fools! Do not think you have defeated me. I will return again and again. What? My flesh? Why won't it heal? What is the meaning of this? To seal ether in crystal. Memoria. But how? How can you have this power? Death has no place in this world. We are beyond it. And yet... Ah, Lord Golbez, you have sent me to my doom. Curse you and your wretched flattery, and this abominable fate.
You are welcome, seekers of might. I, Golbez, have called you for hither. I, who would see us triumph in the coming crusade. That I may entrust you with command of our armies.
Yes, but what of the promised gift?
In exchange for our loyalty, we are to feast on the finest ether.
And so you shall, for if you are to serve me, you must be strong.
Then honor the pact, and pray we are not disappointed.
Very well. Behold.
The fiery wings, the savage horns. It pulses with life. Such vibrant ether. This magnificent creature could only come from beyond the veil.
Indeed. Feast, my friends. Feast and arise as my 4 arch-fiends. As they are now, they can consume but a fraction of the dragon's ether. Just as well, the creature may yet serve other ends.
Are you all right?
The Voidsent's essence remains, but it has been sealed away, transformed into crystal.
Memoria. Scarmelione called them. I take it they are connected to the war of which you spoke.
Aye. Their use was central to the Contra Memoria, hence its name. And to my knowledge, the transformation is permanent.
I see. We thank you for coming to our aid.
I repaid a debt, and in doing so ensured that I receive my own due compensation, which I shall have now.
Yes, yes. I still have work to do, so I would thank you not to get carried away.
Ether is the coin of choice. I appreciate the simplicity.
That makes us even, I trust. Right then. When you picked up the crystal, you experienced a vision, did you not?
A dragon resembling a great worm. I dare to hope that it was Ashdaya. Even as it pains me to think she's been made to suffer.
For the ambitions of this Golbez.
We've been given much to consider. Let us take a moment to review what we know.
Alrighty, well, I think this is probably a good stop the spot since we're almost an hour in. And we'll continue on with this little mystery of where Asdala pretty much is, and where this Golbez fella is as well.